Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another podcast. Women are women globally. And this was a requested podcast from one of my homeboys from the DC area, Taylor Street, Brookland. Yeah, women are women globally, because he was saying, he had talked specifically about black women and non-black women basically being the same, and not just in this country but all over the world. Because see, one of the things, and I wanted to get into that, because a lot of times let's be real, and it's even really bigger than even the black community. Because you'll have guys, I've met guys who are like white, Asian, Hispanic, and they'll think of women from another culture or race or ethnic group, or in a different part of the world are somehow better, right? Let me be honest. Let me be real with y'all. First of all, y'all know I talk about select, non-select. That's a global thing. That's a global thing. Because remember, I told you, my books sold all over the world. I have had coaching clients from, Africa, South Africa. I had a white South African client. Shout yourself out in the comments if you hear this, dude. Portugal, Asia, plenty in Asia, Singapore, all over the world, Australia, all over the world. So, somebody might go to someplace else and the women real friendly to them, but they probably just selected those guys, right? Because women are women. They got the same thing. The only differences are cultural, and ultimately cultural is superficial. Because when a woman is turned on by a man, she's just turned on by a man. Now, I don't say this lightly. Now, I've said publicly before. I'll share it with you. I've had significant relationships with women from Europe, Eastern Europe, Asia, particularly Japan, and Korea as well. And it probably could have been a higher list. South America. And it's like on the surface. Oh, and one more thing, because I saw a lot of this, not just in my own life, but then with, in the DC area. I don't know if it still exists, but there was a subculture, like a significant subculture that was actually mentioned in a local newspaper in the area, of women primarily from Scandinavian countries who were dealing exclusively with black men, right? Now, somebody would think, oh, it's great and stuff. And on the surface, it might seem that way. But then you start talking to these guys. And I've known and dealt with, known some dudes over the years. And this is going across races who's dealt with somebody of another race, a culture, another country. And it might seem great at first. But then once you get past that initial thing, because what happens is when people deal with somebody from another country, another culture, another race, they always on their P's and Q's. They always on their best behavior. They always show their best because they're not familiar with that other group. So they don't show them their normal self. See, when you're familiar with somebody, hey, you real with them. So it don't seem like it's as good. Seem like it's bad. And, and let's be real, this happens on the woman's side too. Plenty of women have, regardless of race, have dealt with another group and found out, oh, they just the same type as the guys I'm dealing with. And really, the only reason they might, and this is as far as the culture and all of that. If we talk about the sexual stuff, that's a whole different thing. But, I've seen so many instances, so many where women have robbed from them, set them up, cheated on them. And you know why? Because regardless of the culture, regardless of the racial group, regardless of everything, when you break it down, women are still women. They still got vagina. They still get turned on by a certain type of man. This is global. They still get turned off by a certain type of man. They still run game. Like some of the best game I've ever seen were women from other countries. You know, that's some of the best game I've ever seen. So it's always the same. It's always a different thing. Now somebody will say, well, I've been successful with this group. I guarantee it's this, two things. It's the body, your physical appearance, if they think you physically attractive, and you just click with them naturally. You just click, and that's if it's successful. People don't talk about how unsuccessful these relationships are. And even that don't have anything to do with the culture or the race. That don't have nothing to do with that. All relationships come down to compatibility. Are they physically attracted to you? And are they compatible with your personality? And it's not always the same. Like I said, game and bad stuff happens across because, say, a man meets a woman from another race, culture, whatever. And like I said, even though I started out using the black male example, I've talked to plenty of white guys, Asian guys, Hispanic guys. They saying the same thing. So regardless, you meet somebody, they going to have to click personality-wise. Because it has been situations where some dude straight got played. Like I knew this, it was a brother. He was dealing with this woman. She was from, I think Poland or something. All right. But he was having some serious issues because she was cheating. She was cheating on him on a regular basis. Right. Now, I've talked about that, and there's so many instances of that, but let me be clear too. At the same time, depending on how you carry yourself, things could be great too. Like I said, that select non-select thing is global. That select non-select is global. So if you clicking with somebody on the overseas or something, or doing some stuff, boom, it's just a simple thing. It's just you just getting along with them, And it's actually a great thing in a way. And the reason why, because then your pool, your tribe is expanded, And honestly, let me just be clear. Let me say something clear, because I know some people say, oh, just against guys traveling. I say, no, not at all. In fact, I encourage it. And plus, I'm not in a position. I started off saying, hey, I've been in relationships with women from other cultures. I think it's a good thing, actually, to be honest with you. But you got to pay attention to the good and the bad. And I already, like I said, went over the bad. The good is you expanding your options. You learn more cultures. Shoot, you could probably learn more languages and stuff like that. But regardless of what you learning, regardless of the cultural foods, differences, whatever, their vaginas still twitch. The women's vaginas still twitch. They still go for, in general, same type of man. They still they're going crazy over those, their face and body. They still got to laugh. They still got to smile when they're around you and stuff. But it's the same thing regardless. It's the same thing. A woman is a woman. And once a guy really gets that, because let's go away from the bad stuff. I'm going to reiterate. You got a global match. You got the whole world as your playground. You should always be able to find someone who clicks with you as long as your mind is open. And that's the main thing. But you got to go into it realistic. You got to know it's not about really them. It's about you. Are you being the best version of yourself? Because the more best you are, the more you expand, the more women, regardless of culture, regardless of race, ethnic group, whatever, even religion, are going to find you attractive. So just always remember that a woman is a woman, You can find something great, but pay attention. It's like you're going to have both sides to it. And it depends if they see you as select or non-select. So, anyway, that's all I got for that one. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.